Hello and welcome to Network. My name is Sphumelele Zondi. Find us on SABC Network on Facebook, and its Twitter handle is SABC Network as well. Our email address is newsnetwork@sabc.co.za. It's World Space Week. Big things have been happening in South Africa around that. The biggest technology exhibition in Africa has also just ended. We also found out that people could, or probably still can, buy narcotics online. We'll tell you all about that later on. Stay with us. Find us on Facebook and Twitter. Engage with us too. Let's get to your technology news. This is World Space Week. It started on the 4th of October and will end on the 10th. In South Africa, a big event to observe the week took place in Kimberley in the Northwest Province.
World Space Week is an international celebration of science and technology and their contribution to the betterment of human condition. South African government agencies, industries, schools and other institutions are participating in the World Space Week. Some of the planned activities to celebrate the week include space displays, popular talks, workshops on rockets, telescopes, electronic and comets, space shows and space film festivals. Several science centers, museums, planetaria, observatories, science councils and other organizations are joining forces to put on a week of fun and educational space activities. The hub of space activities in South Africa currently is the Western Cape. This region hosts the facilities developed for the previous space programs, as well as the number of universities, government research laboratories and many high-tech companies.
Last week, we told you about the Expo for young scientists. We've tracked one of the big winners of the Expo. It's a young boy from an underprivileged school in the Eastern Cape province of South Africa.
It all started in this under-resourced science lab. During the regional science fair, the engineering level and energy efficiency of Pinda's entry impressed the judges.
Pinda is a very dedicated learner. And I happened to notice him this year since I was teaching. I started teaching him this year. He had shown out outstanding achievement academically, especially in my learning area since I'm dealing with natural science.
The 14-year-old says his passion for the subject drives him.
I feel really good because the results show me that I am growing in science and I'm learning more things.
The aspiring scientist is currently building a stove that will feature a thermometer and a timer.
We've read stories of doctors who make mistakes and cut wrong body parts during big operations. Well, all that could be a thing of the past. South Africa has just received the country's first surgical robot, but the robot isn't quite taking over from your surgeon just yet. Lebosi Jake tells us more.
The Urology Hospital of Pretoria has purchased South Africa's very first surgical robot. This, according to the hospital, is a revolutionary system that will make highly complex invasive surgery in a much safer way.
With minimally invasive surgery is that they have less pain, they don't bleed with the operations, they have a very fast recovery with it, and we have, especially in prostate cancer, a far better chance of preserving their potency and their continence after radical prostatectomy.
The Da Vinci surgical robot will allow surgeons to operate camera and 3 instruments while performing an invasive procedure. This multifunctional tool may seem rather easy to operate, but extensive training is required prior to one jumping and taking charge of the controls.
Training is to get used to using the robot and in the mechanics of setting up the robot and docking it to the patient and then manipulating the arms. So you can't just jump in and do it.
This big octopus-looking machine comes at a hefty price.
There's only positives with this machine. The only negative thing is maybe the cost of the machine, but we have enough faith in this technology that we decided to buy it. So I think it was 18 million rand.
The first surgery using the machine will be performed later this month.
Let's head over to Nigeria, where technology is being used to reinforce local languages. The method comes in the form of an app that is meant for children.
Nigeria's Guinea Game has introduced an interactive language app used to teach children Yoruba, Igbo and Hausa. This is something developers feel is essential in a country where many are forgetting their heritage.
Our focus is on culture, so with respect to how, respect to kids not being interested in learning about culture or knowing little or nothing about their culture, we think that we're making a contribution, in our own little ways as to, them getting a grasp of, where they come from.
Onyeka Albert, proprietor at Charles Laurie French Academy, saw the significance for this app as she felt that families are facing loss in everyday use of their dialect.
We've been crying that our children, that our culture are fast eroding. Our children don't know our culture. If I probably ask you some folk tales, you may not be able to tell me. And then how do we pass it on to generations?
Students seem to be enjoying it.
I learned Igbo. My mother went to the market. I learned Yoruba, Chibi spoon, laba laba butterfly, Malum cow.
Microsoft Kenya has appointed a new country manager. He's from Nigeria and his name is Kunle Awosika. His task in Kenya is to move Microsoft Kenya's business to its next phase as the company goes into device manufacturing. His last position was at Microsoft Nigeria, where he was director for the enterprise and public sector businesses in Anglophone West Africa. Awosika has worked for Microsoft in East Africa before. If you have close to 400,000 Rand to spare, then you can buy the new UHD TV set. Samsung has launched cheaper models, but cheaper doesn't necessarily mean cheap. Producer Tile Khaswane tells us more about this beauty that only a few can afford.
This is Samsung's flagship television set, the 85-inch ultra-high definition model. But what is ultra-high definition?
So an ultra-high definition TV is a TV set that offers 4 times the resolution of your current full high definition televisions that are available on the market today, giving you even better picture quality and higher resolution than your normal standard full high definition TV.
Nicknamed the ultimate TV, this set is impressive to look at and to watch.
It's also designed based on a work of art. If you have a look at the TV set, it's based on a picture floating in a frame. Now, the frame itself, which is the stand, also acts as the speakers. So the speakers are actually built into the frame, offering you 120 watts worth of sound. That's 6 times the sound that's in your normal television set. In addition to that, built into the frame, you'll notice that there's a camera. Now, this camera acts for what Samsung calls smart interaction. So you can actually control this TV with your hands or with voice controls.
The 85-inch UHD hit the South African market back in June. With a price tag of close to 400,000 rands, Samsung admits this offering is for premium customers. And the electronics giant says it has managed to sell some units in the local market. Last month, Samsung responded to the call of those people with expensive tastes but lesser deep pockets. They launched 2 new, albeit smaller UHD models, the 65-inch unit that retails for around 90,000 rands and the 55-inch model that sells for 60,000.
Smart Evolution allows you to upgrade your TV sets when new features are available. So for someone who's spending a fair amount of money on this TV set, it also gives them peace of mind that when technology does change going forward, all they do is buy a little Evolution kit, plug it in, and they will have the latest and the greatest.
Samsung says its Smart Evolution kit helps set their brand apart in the highly competitive smart TV market. And this could possibly be the reason why Samsung can afford to take the risk of hitting the consumer market with something like this.
The owner of a website described as the eBay of illicit goods was arrested and has already appeared in court. Some American media is now describing Ross Ulbricht as an internet drug lord. On his Silk Road website, visitors could buy all kinds of drugs, including heroin and cocaine. It's believed he made billions of rand from his 2-year online venture.
The Federal Bureau of Investigation in the United States arrested Ross Ulbricht on Tuesday. They accused him of running the Silk Road website, a marketplace for illegal goods. For more than 2 years, Silk Road allowed thousands of tech-savvy sellers to post ads for drugs and other illegal products. Authorities said they seized almost 40 million rands worth of the Bitcoin digital currency, which was used instead of cash or credit cards. Subscribers used Bitcoins for the transactions because the digital currency assured them anonymity.
What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is the first decentralized digital currency.
peer-to-peer technology to operate with no central authority or banks. Therefore, Bitcoin is open source, its design is public, nobody owns or controls it, and everyone can take part.
Because of the technology, this guy was able to hide what he was doing and make it hard for the authorities to find him.
In court, prosecutors charged Albrecht with 1 count each of narcotics trafficking, computer hacking, and money laundering. They also say Albrecht tried to have someone killed who had threatened to expose the identities of thousands of Silk Road users.
Government officials and gaming are two things that are hardly used in the same sentence. In India, the two are mixing, though. One prime ministerial candidate is said to be a trending hit when it comes to the latter.
It has barely been a month since Bharatiya Janata Party anointed Narendra Modi as their prime ministerial candidate. And the politician has created a buzz among mobile buyers and fans of the BJP leaders. He has created an Android game called Mobi Run. Fellow party member says this is not campaign stunt by the BJP.
These games originated in Gujarat as a few software companies here have designed them. These are not being endorsed by BJP or the IT cell of BJP. Private companies have designed them keeping in mind the popularity of Narendra Modi.
The game has received massive interest on the Google Play Store.
It is a really fun game to play.
It's SABC Network on Twitter, SABC Network on Facebook, News Network at sabc.co.za. We'll take a quick break now and we'll tell you about South Africa's Innovation Hub. It's an incubator for tech businesses. Don't go away.
State Life invites all the South African trustees to the launch of the Saita Awards as we honor thousands of trustees that serve in good faith, assets of the beneficiary with more than 1 trillion, 6 categories and live performances on the 29th of October at Gallagher Convention Center.
State Life as an authorized financial service provider, providing with a wide range of employees' benefit, is inviting all the South African trustees, come join us.
State Life, signs of the future.
Hello, Africa, and welcome to this week's episode of Kaleidoscope. We'll be sampling the creme de la creme of entertainment, arts and culture, lifestyle, and travel. So stay tuned as we bring you the beauty, sights, and sounds of Africa.
That's Kaleidoscope, Sundays 5:30 p.m. on SABC News, Channel 404.
Welcome back. A lot of technology businesses struggle to get funding or any kind of help when starting out. South Africa's Innovation Hub says that's where it comes in. It says it aims to foster skills development and entrepreneurship. This it does as it incubates new innovative companies. Producer Lewis Ijage tells us more.
The Innovation Hub is a science and technology park based in the city of Tshwane. In effort to encouraging young South Africans to be world-class innovators, the park runs various innovation competitions that will help enhance Gauteng province's economy. Established by the Gauteng Economic Development Department, the Science and Technology Park focuses on fostering skill development and entrepreneurship. The initiative also aims to incubate new companies so they generate jobs. The competition has seen a number of success stories all throughout the province.
Currently, we've got 3 apps that we've developed: the Q Marshall app, a commuter app, and a taxi association app. In a logistics service, the Q Marshall would be like your dispatcher. You know, they would know what the demand is along a route.
Joining me in studio to talk a bit more about the Innovation Hub is Chief Executive Officer McLean Sibanda. Engage with us on Facebook and Twitter. We are on SABC Network on both platforms. Hello and welcome.
Thank you very much, Pamela.
Now, what exactly is the Innovation Hub?
The Innovation Hub is a science and technology park. And the Science and Technology Park, in essence, has got a number of things. What it does is there's an infrastructure, part in terms of facilities to be able to foster innovation. There's also incubators that you then put in place, and these incubators assist the entrepreneurs. And then we run a number of programs. In this particular case, we run some skills development programs, some incubation programs. We run a number of competitions, and we do a number of events to be able to foster innovation within the Gauteng economy. So the Innovation Hub, in essence, is a subsidiary of the Gauteng Growth and Development Agency.
Okay. You mentioned competitions, and you have a competition called The Gap.
Yes.
What is that?
Well, The Gap is really set up to be able to close the gap. Most entrepreneurs, in terms of developing their innovations and getting into the market, they face this gap, and that particular gap is quite often funding, at times it's support. And so we set up a series of competitions called GAP, Gauteng Accelerator Program. So we have one which is in ICT and mobile, and another one which is in green economy, and we've introduced this year a new one in the medical. And these competitions are aimed at finding those entrepreneurs that have got ideas, the inventors that are not getting the help, and elevating their ideas so that we can be able to identify them. The focus of these competitions, we're also looking at fostering innovation, looking at efficiency in terms of how government does its work. And so we've opened up these competitions. They close on the 13th of October. Huge prize money. For example, in each of the categories, the first prize is 300,000 rand, and then second prize 200,000, third prize 150,000, and the fourth prize is 100,000.
13th of October, you say, is the closing date.
13th of October. Yeah. It closes, and coupled with the prizes is obviously an opportunity to be incubated in Africa's first internationally accredited science and technology park.
Yeah. Now, would you just briefly tell us about some of your past winners?
Well, we've had a number of winners. We've been running the competition for 2 years. We're on the 3rd year. In the first year, we had an app that looks at schedules for trains, Go Metro. That particular app has been developed quite further, and this month, Transport Month, we're going to be launching a Go Gauteng, which is an integrated transport app. And then there's also After Robot. And this is an app that allows people to be able to stop a taxi and be able to signal to a queue marshal that there's a taxi that is waiting for them. And then in the green economy, there's also Nabidi Power that have developed an innovation that relies on kinetic energy to be able to generate energy for chargers. Last year's winner in the green economy was Smokeless Coal. And this is a group of women in the rural area that have been able to mix coal dust with clay to be able to then produce some charcoal for heating.
All right, Mr. McLean Sibanda, CEO of the Innovation Hub, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Pamela.
All right, let's go to a quick break now. When we return, we find out about the biggest gaming expo in Africa.
Start your mornings with a daily dose of...
Good morning to you. Let's give you stories making headlines.
Good morning, Sam.
Morning, Sam. Sports fans are no doubt gearing up for a bumper sporting Saturday. Back to Sam.
Thanks, Sam.
Welcome to the Yard Bulletin.
Who exactly are we paying tribute to this year?
We pay tribute to all the music industry people.
Sam had a chat to Mike and the Mechanics. Was that fun?
Ooh, my word. You just brought back memories.
And a bit of... That's Morning Live, weekdays 6 to 9 a.m. on SABC News, channel 404.
Very difficult for you to mention the EFF. You say them, you say those.
Because it's none of my business, so I'm not going to mention them because it's another political party that is contesting space like the ANC.
That's Question Time, Monday to Saturday, channel 404.
Welcome back. Now, Africa's biggest gaming exhibition concluded today in Johannesburg. Since Friday morning, gaming enthusiasts, including us here at Network, indulged in over 80 exhibits that included the Xbox One and Nintendo. Visitors also got to try out PlayStation 4 computer entertainment system, which was unveiled at Rage 2013. Producer Tele Khaswane tells us what happened there.
It was all about Rage at this gaming expo this weekend. Around 30,000 die-hard tech geeks from all over the country attended the three-day event at the Coca-Cola Dome. The packed arena was a reminder that worldwide, gaming has become the ultimate entertainment market, far surpassing all others, including movies.
I have a very fun experience at Rage. It's like a really great experience. There's a lot of nice people. A lot of people like to dress up like I am and take part in competitions, and it's a really great atmosphere.
All the stalls, all the new games and consoles are coming out. It's really exciting because I also want to invest in a few games now, so 2 new ones. And it's a bit tiring and a bit crowded and a bit hot, but I'll come back again and I'll dress up next time.
Keniko Entertainment unveiled the PlayStation 4 computer system. This was the first time South Africans could interact with the much-anticipated offering. The PS4 is a next-generation entertainment system that redefines rich and immersive gameplay with powerful graphics and speed. PlayStation's arch-nemesis, the Xbox One, also unveiled some of its latest offerings, including Rise, Son of Rome. Rise runs on full HD and is thought to be coming to PS4 soon. The Xbox and PS4 proved to be quite popular with the crowds.
I just came here to see the Xbox One and the PS4, see which one I'd buy, because I'm a major Xbox fan. I love Halo, I love the Xbox, and the Xbox One has very interesting controllers. The buttons are amazing, the controllers design has changed a lot, the rumble triggers are amazing.
Well, it was a great experience over here. I also did like the Xbox One, the controller rumbles and the buttons, it's very comfortable.
The Neg Leg at Rage event also made a comeback this year. This is the biggest gaming LAN in South Africa, with 2,000 gamers connected to the same network for a whole weekend of pure gaming.
Joining me in studio to talk about Rage is Jeff Burrows. Hello and welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Now describe what the last 3 days have been like for you.
Tiring, but fun. I mean, it's always a hectic show. It takes a lot out of us, and I'm sort of half glad and half sad that it's over.
Yeah. We saw producer Tele Khaswane's favorite things. What were some of your favorite things in the last 3 days?
Personally, I loved that we had some locally developed video games there. I mean, that's my big passion, getting the local guys out there, having people come and play their games, and they can get direct feedback, basically for the first time on this level.
What goes into organizing something like Rage?
A lot of hard work from a big team of very talented people. We start working on Rage almost as this Rage ends, we'll start working on the next one. So it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort and experience.
Big turnout this year. Yeah. What do you think contributed to that? And also, if you take us through the planning process and engaging with the companies that exhibit there.
Yeah, we had a huge turnout this year. I think the two biggest contributing factors to that were we had the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. First time anyone in Africa has got their hands on it, on both machines. And also we just have more of everything. Every year we're growing, we're offering new stuff. There's the Nintendo 2DS, there's all the hot next generation games coming out. There's just a huge amount of stuff to draw people in this year. And in terms of planning, we start speaking to guys, like I said, from almost now, talking about next year, and sort of getting them to tell us about what they want to bring out, and then we just sort of figure it out, see what the public wants, what the local guys want to show, and then we find a balance.
You with NAG magazine. What's NAG's involvement in all of this?
Well, NAG owns and manages the show, so it's our little kind of. I wouldn't call it a side project, but it's definitely it's part of the whole NAG system, really.
Yeah. And what kind of person would be at Rage?
Well,
there was growth this year, which means maybe it could be changing.
Yeah, I mean, that everyone thinks there's that typical kind of gamer geek kind of appeal, but really we like to think of Rage as a family show. Anyone can come. We have seen more and more families, and it's not just the kids dragging along the parents anymore. It's the parents are really getting interested into it, and there's some games for kids, games for adults. And then also all the lifestyle stuff. Comic books, action figures, the tech stuff, the gadgets. There's really anyone who likes technology or cool, slightly geeky stuff will have a great time there.
Yeah, all right. Thank you very much for joining us, Jeff Burrows from Rage Expo.
Well, thanks very much for having me.
Thank you. And don't forget to let us know which hashtags you're checking out. These are just some of the things we've been looking at in social media. And this photo. It shows police controlling a school children's riot. Riots started after a woman in Mamba was murdered in what is believed to be a ritual killing. People then started sharing their views on the riots. After a Sunday newspaper report asked suspended COSATU General Secretary Zwelinzima Mavavi if he would start his own political party, he took to Twitter to engage people to say it is not planned yet and he isn't planning to join any opposition party. Africa's popular television program Generations has a new look. Many took to Twitter to share their dissatisfaction with either the opening sequence or its new theme song. That's it. Thank you so much for being a part of our network. Let's continue engaging on Facebook and Twitter. We are on SABC Network on both platforms. It's newsnetwork at sabc.co.za on email. We found the video we're playing out with today on Vimeo. It's Johannesburg's Instagrammers explaining what they do. From me and the rest of the team here, have a good one.
I think what makes Joburg unique is being able to discover new locations, just exploring places people haven't been. When you find that one unique location, it makes it all worth it. The reason why I love taking photos is to be able to capture a single moment. When I go out exploring,